Good afternoon. Welcome to Midcap Radar. I'm Sonal Bhutra. With me, as always, is Vivek Iyer. Well, some recovery that we saw, and then again, there has been a fall that we are seeing. I would like you to see the rates right now because I think my system is not working.
It's so volatile that every time you look at the system, you feel the system isn't working, but the market is that volatile. Okay. Well, the broader end of the markets continue to remain very volatile, and there continues to remain quite a lot of selling pressure. Selling pressure has refused to abate, but in the last 15 minutes of the session, you're actually seeing quite a bit of a surge as far as especially the financials are concerned. But we have quite a lot lined up on the show. Let's start off with the top headlines. Market sharply off day's low, with the Nifty now about 24,000 level, even as uncertainty over the US poll result and the US Fed Reserve policies meet outcome continues. Metals and PSU banks gains, while mid-cap index still in the red, but sharply off lows.
Larsen & Toubro is set to pick up a 21% stake for just over 1,400 crore in E2E Networks, a cloud computing solutions player and NVIDIA partner, to leverage its cloud computing and data processing capabilities. E2E Networks is logged in upper circuit and trade today.
Gland Pharma surges nearly 12% after reporting its Q2 numbers. Revenue surges 2.4%, while margins and profit after tax contracts on a year-on-year basis.
ABB sees slow growth in orders and long cycle wins, leading to order book and revenue missing growth expectations. Even as margins expand and lower material costs, the stock slips.
Battery makers Amara Raja and Exide under pressure after reporting their Q2 numbers. Exide reports earnings below street estimates, while Amara Raja sees a soft quarter.
Okay, those are the top headlines, and now I'm getting the correct rates. So let's talk about that. Nifty is up 93 points. There's been a sharp surge from the lows, and of course, that is led by what's happening in the banking space. That has made a comeback in how and leading to the gains that we are seeing on the Nifty as well. At the day's high, we have a lot of these private banking names which are surging. What a move in last couple of minutes itself. You have something like an ICICI Bank which is surging this hour itself. There are big moves. HDFC Bank, Axis Bank. Usually, the show is about mid caps, but we have to talk about the large caps because of the stellar move that we've seen in just last couple of trading minutes. And there you go. Axis Bank at the day's high. You have ICICI Bank at the day's high. Bajaj Finserv is also surged from the lows of the day. So a lot is coming from the financial space. SBI, for instance, also at the day's high. So it's come very surprisingly because yesterday we didn't see that recovery come by. But mid caps, that's where the pain remains. But again, it has recovered quite a bit from the lows.
Off the lows, you know, the small cap index now, as we speak, has reached the midpoint, and the small cap index now down just around 0.15%. But Hormaz is standing by the wall. This is a special segment, mid cap movers. Hormaz had a list of stocks. When he was looking at the list, maybe quite a few of them have moved up. But Hormaz, over to you.
Well, never a dull moment in this market, isn't it? And as you've pointed out, right, they may have completely changed from when I made this list. But let's start off with what could still be the losers in the broader markets. And Ola Electric is one of them. The 3-month shareholder lock-in ending in today's trading session. Still continuing to end at the low point of the day now. 7% lower is Ola Electric. Another one that is at the low point of the day is PB Fintech, down 6.5%. Torrent Power and Tube Investments too, seeing some bit of losses in today's trading session. What's shining though today are metal names, and there are plenty of factors behind this surge. Hindustan Zinc, of course, there is lack of float in the market for the stock, but still 3% higher. SAIL, NMDC too, slightly off the day's high, but holding on to the gains. Earnings reactions coming in thick and fast. Mazgaon Dog recently reported results. The stock surged to the day's high after that. But the star of today is Tilaknagar Industries, 20% higher on the stock after results. Another standout is Gland Pharma after the management commentary, but ABB India, Amara Raja and Saregama are down to the lowest point of the day after some weak results and management commentary. Stocks doing well on the back of strong volumes, and Kirloskar Brothers and MRPL has surged to the high point of the day, now 10% higher there, and Reddington too gaining on strong volume. Some other stocks that are bucking the trend, well, I can't really say they are bucking the trend anymore considering the recovery that you have seen, but Deepak Fertilizers, HFCL and Archean Chemicals too seeing gains of anywhere between 4 to 5%. Back to you guys.
Okay, some interesting names there. The chemicals pack, by the way, continues to do really well, and big moves that we've been seeing in the last couple of trading sessions. Hormaz, thank you so much for joining in as always. Let's welcome Shrikant Chauhan from Kotak Securities for a quick technical check on the markets. Shrikant, what a stellar move that we've seen on the Bank Nifty in the last couple of trading minutes itself. Tell us, will we see a further up move from here on? What are the charts suggesting now?
Yeah, good afternoon. I think, see, this particular market is going to remain volatile within the broader range because the events which are lined up, they are completely unpredictable. And maybe that's the reason the markets are not breaking important levels like 23,800 on the downside and 24,500 on the high side. So till the markets are not breaking these levels, I think we are going to see volatile sort of activity. At the same time, if we see the VIX, then it is also somewhere close to 16, 17, which clearly indicates that we are going to see more and more volatility in the near term. But based on today's formation, specifically on intraday basis, I am of the view that 23,800 is offering very good support for the market. And based on that, we could see the levels of maybe 24,200 or 300, where the resistance has shifted from the highs of 24,500. So based on option statistics, now the resistance have shifted to 24,300, and maybe we could see these levels in the near term. That's the overall view. But it is better to be more on the stock side, I'm going to say more and more stock specific instead of focusing more on the index. Bank Nifty, it is outperforming to the Nifty, and based on its formation, I think it is heading for the levels of 51,900 or maybe 52,000. But there also PSU banks are doing well. So it is better to be focused more on banks and maybe stock specific instead of focusing more on indices.
Understood that, Srikanth. So 23,800 as per you is offering some support. But you said let's stay stock specific. So which are the stocks that you are recommending today?
Yeah, I think PSU banks are really doing well, and they are like recovering and relatively they are doing well as compared to the entire space. So in that, we like Punjab National Bank, which is currently trading around 104, 104.25. There we have a target of 110 to 115. We can keep a stop loss somewhere close to 99 for creating any trading long positions. Otherwise, I'm of the view that it is heading for the levels of 115 based on its technical formation. And the other stock which we like is National Aluminium. Here, if we see the stock, then it is very close to its all-time highs, somewhere close to 232, 234. And formation is indicating us that it is heading for 255 to 260 sort of levels in the near term. So NALCO is also a buy at current levels. And if there is a trading position, then one can keep stop loss somewhere close to 224.
All right. Thank you, Srikanth, for joining in. Those are some technical trades. But let's do one thing. We'll slip into a break. Let's leave you with some good news as we do that. Network 18's Money Control, India's leading digital financial platform, has achieved the remarkable milestone of surpassing 10 crore unique visitors in October 2024, according to data from Google. This achievement further widens Money Control's lead as India's top business and financial news platform.
Welcome back to Midcap Radar. Well, the stellar recovery we are seeing as far as the benchmark indices, that continues. Nifty as well as Nifty Bank now firmly in the green. A couple of stocks that are making fresh highs as we speak. The first one, of course, is SBI. Stock up almost 2% in the session, a very sharp recovery seen over there. The OMC stocks, HPCL as well as BPCL, they too have seen a very smart recovery. A name like Oberoi Realty, that too is doing very well, especially in the last 15-20 minutes of the session, up near the day's highest point. Oberoi Realty is the one that we're talking about. Moving on, ABB India, on the other hand, is under pressure after the company reported a slow growth in orders as well as revenues missing growth expectations. Vamakshi joins us with the highlights and what the management had to say in their conference call.
Well, absolutely, Vivek. It was a weak set coming in from ABB. When you look at the order inflow, came in at 3,342 crores. This is slightly slower as compared to what the street was expecting. In fact, when you look at the order book, that is at a record high, and that is because there is a large portion of large cycle orders that have come through, which account for nearly 25%. Revenue resultantly saw a slow growth of nearly 5%, came in 11% lower expectations. EBITDA as well as net profit missed expectations by almost 8%. Con call was held at around 10 a.m. or so, and the management said that the velocity of conversions from order booking to revenue will not continue at the same pace as what we've seen in the past, and this is mainly on account of a higher share coming in from larger orders which have a longer gestation period. They also added that large order execution is yet to pick up momentum, and therefore we see a higher order backlog and slower revenue growth, and this this in turn, will happen as and when the the execution aligns with the project schedules. They're seeing private capex uptick along with public sector capex as well. A healthy quarterly inflow for them stands at around 2,500 to 3,000 crores, and they also highlighted that it is very difficult to predict when they will hit the 4,000 crore mark. They have highlighted that the pipeline ahead is fairly strong, but they believe that the volumes could plateau before they see a very good jump up. There's still a lot of uncertainty in the global markets as well, and as and when it gets cleared, it will lead to some benefits. But as of now, there is no correlation metrics. For exports, they say there is room to cater to Middle East as well as the African markets, but again, they're focused mainly on the domestic market, and they will continue to do so ahead as well. So overall, not a great set of numbers coming in from the company. The management commentary also slightly cautious.
Okay, all right. Cautious commentary coming in from ABB India. By the way, Alkyl Amines, the stock is higher right now. It's been a good performance after quarters of underperformance that the amines industry has seen generally. EBITDA is up 52%. The revenues went higher by 18% as well. And the industry generally had been seeing a lot of pricing pressure, but that seems to have been abated. The net profit is up 75%. Again, on a YY basis, it's coming on a low base as well. But yes, looks like a good set this time. We'll have to watch out for quarter-on-quarter numbers as well. The other stock on our radar is Ola Electric. Slips in trade as 3-month lock-in period expires today. Hormaz is joining us to tell us more on this one. Hormaz.
Back below its IPO price, and some important events coming up for Ola Electric as well. Today is one of that, and the 3-month lock-in period, as you just mentioned, has expired in today's trading session, and as a result of which almost 18.2 crore shares or 4% of its outstanding equity has become eligible to trade. Now, it must be specified that the lock-in period ending does not mean that all these shares will get sold in the open market. They just get eligible to be traded. So 4% outstanding equity now eligible to be traded for Ola Electric. They also put out an exchange filing yesterday where they said that they'll hold a board meeting on the 8th, which is on Friday, to discuss their quarterly results. They'll be disclosing their quarterly results then. And in the first quarter, the net loss had widened, which was the first quarter that they had reported after listing. The EBITDA loss also remained flat at around 200 crore rupees. The stock now below its IPO price. It made a post-listing high well above 150 rupees, and now it's back below its IPO price, making an intraday low of around 74 in today's session. So a lot of things to watch out for Ola Electric.
Thank you so much for that, Hormaz. So Ola Electric, lock-in ending, that's an important development over there. But Sonal, you've been looking at GAIL. They're all set to deliver their Q2 numbers. What are the key expectations?
And it could happen anytime, actually. Usually it is during market hours. The stock, it is down 1.5%, but it has seen some recovery from the lows. Expected to be slightly muted on a quarter-on-quarter basis. Now, do remember the quarter gone by was very strong. But this time, we are expecting revenues to be flat at 33,451 crore rupees. EBITDA to decline by 10%. Margins to see a compression of around 110 basis points, leading to a profit fall of 4.8%. Now, different brokerages have put out volume and EBIT estimates. Let me start with the volume estimates, where Jefferies is saying that most of the volumes will be lower, which are like high amount volumes. For transmission, it will be down 2%. Gas trading will be down 2%. Now, remember, these are big contributors to volumes. Petchem will see an improvement, and LPG will see an improvement as well of 15%. Kotak says EBIT for gas transmission accordingly will be down 4.8%, but for LPG, it will be up 2.4%. Marketing, which is a big contributor to EBIT, that's where we'll see a decline of 11.5% on a quarter-on-quarter basis. Petchem this time will see an EBIT profit versus an EBIT loss that it saw last quarter, and LPG will see an improvement of 22% in EBIT. So it'll be a mixed bag in terms of what every sector or every segment has done for the company, but overall, if we talk about it, it will be a sequential decline.
Thank you so much for that. Well, moving on, as CNBC-TV18 celebrates 25 years of excellence, we invite you to the most anticipated event of the year, the CNBC-TV18 Global Leadership Summit, bringing together visionary policymakers like Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, RBI Governor Shaktikanta Das, industry leaders like HSBC India's Hitendra Dave, Kotak Mahindra Bank's Uday Kotak, and trailblazing startup founders. This is where the roadmap for India's next 25 years of growth and global leadership will be charted. You don't want to miss this.
Welcome back. Well, steady at the 24,083 mark. We are above the 24,000 mark for now. The mid caps, they have also recovered sharply from the lows. So the mid cap index is up around 46 points, and the advance decline ratio, it is in favor of the advances. So for around 1,500 stocks on the advancing side, we have around 1,000 stocks on the declining side. But now it has turned into the green, and the advance decline lines, those lines actually in favor of the advances as we speak. You know, talking about the broader market, Tilak Nagar Industries, that is one stock which is buzzing in trade. It reported a good Q2 number. CMD Amit Dhanukar comments about the impact of the new liquor policy in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana and how they project revenue to reflect in coming months. Listen in.
Andhra and Telangana both have been traditionally quite strong for our company in terms of our sales and brandy consumption. Approximately 50% of our total revenues come from both these states combined, and I think next 18 to 24 months, we wouldn't really see that changing too much. I think with privatization, I think what will happen is I think industry is quite hopeful that the sales would increase. Margins, definitely the margin profile has improved. 17% margin which we see is there's a subsidy amount which we have received from the government of Maharashtra. So if you adjust for that subsidy amount, then the margins still come at a healthy 15.5%. And we'll be able to hold it. I think commodity prices have stabilized, so I don't see any challenges on the commodity side this year. So we are quite confident that we'll be able to hold this guidance going forward as well.
Well, the market is now decisively in the green with all key indices in the green, especially the mid and small cap index. But one stock that's doing especially well today is Mazagon Dock. The company is surging in trade after reporting its Q2 numbers. Upasana is here with more details.
Well, the company has certainly reported a strong set of numbers. Revenue, EBITDA margin and PAT stood much above the street estimates, and PAT stood around 585 crore, which was up 76% despite the rise in provisions. Now, coming to the revenues of the company, they stood quite strong at 2,757 crores, up about 51% on a one-year basis, and company's EBITDA also rose sharply from 176 to as high as 511 crore. Company's EBITDA margin also doubled up from 9.6% to 18.5% versus the guided range of around 10 to 12% for FY25 is what the company had guided after its Q1 FY25. Now, coming to gross margins of the company, that also expanded quite sharply from 22.3% to 29.7%. Now, all in all, we'll be waiting out for the company's order book guidance and also company's order flow in this quarter. So, all in all, strong set of numbers coming in from Mazagon Dock in its Q2 FY25.
Thank you so much for that, Upasana. No wonder then, you're seeing the kind of up move that you've seen in Mazagon Dock today. Well, a couple of stocks on the radar, some of the stocks that's done really well in the last half hour of the session. The entire PSU banking basket, so the Nifty PSU Bank Index led by SBI. Then have a look at names like Canara Bank, Punjab National Bank, PNB, some of the other names too, Can Bank, PNB, Bank of Baroda, all of them are doing very well. Another stock on the radar, one that's seen a very sharp intraday recovery, is actually MCX. MCX at one point of time was slumping in the session, but it's seen a very sharp recovery and in fact now trading near the day's highest point. Another stock, Voltas, it's been very volatile in today's trading session, but again in the last half hour has seen quite a bit of a recovery from the intraday low levels. But with that, it's all the time we have on this edition of Mid Cap Radar Mutual Fund Corner when we return.